Everybody, today's episode is with Mr. Nick Ellersick, and this guy is full of positivity. And I met him through a mastermind that he and I are both in, and I loved his energy. I loved his authenticity, his willingness to just put himself out there, everything. I mean, he just puts it all out there, and he just wants to inspire and motivate other people to do more. So some of the things in the episode that I want you to pay attention to are just the importance that he leveraged other people and worked with experts to help him with strategy and tactics in areas that were tough and difficult. The other critical thing that I would say that it hits home with me is how wonderful and positive that his mother is and the impact that it had on his life, just like it had on mine. So don't ever downplay the importance of surrounding yourself with good, positive people. Even when things are bad, having positive people around you, it rubs off. So ladies and gentlemen, Nick Ellersick. It's not about the talent you have, but the mindset you bring to it. Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, hands down, has to be considered one of the most elite athletes to ever walk the earth. Why? Was it his athletic ability? Possibly. But for me, it was the mindset and the willingness to prepare better than anyone else is truly what made him elite. Today, our student athletes are facing challenges that haven't ever been seen before. So much social media, actively having to market themselves, the transfer portal, NIL, goes on, and not to mention, they have to keep their grades up. Winging it and just seeing what happens is not the strategy needed, but it's what most athletes, coaches, and parents are using. You have to be intentional. You have to invest in skills that scale with life. With this highly competitive environment, how do student athletes separate themselves from the crowd? Be elite. Apart from having athletic statistics and grades, what does this mean? Well, let me introduce you to the Elite Edge 90-Day Program. The Elite Edge 90-Day Program is designed to assist the student athlete to develop the mental performance to have the self-discipline, self-awareness, and focus necessary to navigate internal and external challenges. The program will also assist in developing a real specific plan that will help them achieve their own individual goals. Each athlete will also be able to communicate their mission, vision, and values that make them unique. Imagine how this will be received when they are looking to differentiate themselves during the recruiting process. What will be learned in these 90 days can be used for the rest of their lives. This is scalable. I'm offering the Elite Edge program live or virtual, and one-on-one, group, or team options are available. So reach out today to learn more about the Elite Edge 90-Day program and Highlight Coaching and Consulting. We've been trying to do this back and forth, and then you had a date, and then I needed to move it, and then Saturday came, and then somebody for my birthday, a good friend of mine, invited us to go see a Bert Kreischer show on Saturday, the comedian, and so I just knew it'd be tough.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we finally got to meet up, man. So good to see you. How you been?
Doing good. A lot has shifted, but we're doing good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good to hear. Well, before we get started, because I want to tell you about the podcast. I'm excited about it, and I want you to tell all the listeners about you. But I like to start with having fun before we get into anything. So, have you ever played Would You Rather?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is a good, fun Would You Rather. So the first one is: would you rather freeze time or go back in time?
So I would rather probably go back in time.
Okay. Why so?
I don't know. So a little bit about my story. My dad just passed away about a month ago, December. And so I want to go back and just be with him, I guess. But also like go back in time, and like I'm very man of faith as well. Maybe go back in time and like be with Jesus, and like just all the stories, and like I've been reading the Bible a lot, and like just hearing all of the stories about like what Jesus did, and like maybe just go back in time and yeah, maybe meet Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, what better thing to
Yeah.
do than that? Do you watch the Chosen series at all?
No, I haven't, but I'm looking for good good
Oh,
Bible series
it,
to.
Nick, it is hands down, it's the best thing ever. And hopefully I won't overplay it, but you can, I think the first season is on Netflix and I think Amazon Prime.
Mhm.
And then they also have an app and you can just stream it from your phone or your iPad to the TV. There's 3 seasons. And I'm telling you, there's many moments in that show that have brought tears to my eyes. It's just so powerful, especially with the way you just answered that question, because I feel like it humanizes him. And again, nobody knows, right? I mean, it's the
Yes.
stereotypical beard and brown hair, but the actor does a great job. And the series it's about Jesus, and it also gives you more perspective to the disciples, which I think is a really cool perspective that I don't think many have seen, but just the story's great. And, it's wonderful. You'll love it.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to watching it.
All right. The Chosen. Okay. Next one. Live without music or TV?
Live without TV, because it's like sometimes I like whenever I'm in a tough spot or a tough moment, like yes, like I read books and podcasts, but sometimes I just need music.
What's that song? What's that?
I'm a big country fan.
Okay.
But yeah, country music usually like puts me in a spot like that, or like Christian music. I've been listening to a lot of Christian music on the way to work.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah, me too. It's either Christian music or podcast. That's pretty much the extent. And then my son gets in the car. He's actually liking the classic rewind channel on Sirius. So he'll go to like Van Halen, which is good. I like all that. And my wife's a huge country fanatic. So I'll listen to anything.
Yeah.
Do you have a particular country music artist that you like the best?
I like all like the recent ones. But not really. I just like country music. Just
okay, that's fair.
It just reminds me like how great this country is, and like how blessed I am to live in this great country.
Amen to that. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I watched the Super Bowl. Yeah.
What'd you think of Chris Stapleton's
I liked it.
national anthem? I loved it.
I loved it. Like it felt like it gave me goosebumps. Like knowing they could have picked a better singer to sing that song.
Yeah, I think it ranks. They all play the Whitney Houston one all the time. I think it's right there behind that one, or tied with it.
Sure.
And because like I kept my back, we were watching it at some friend's house, and I kept my back to everybody because I had tears in my eyes. I mean, it was just, I thought he just did such, and I love him. I love the way he sings and his style. So that was good.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question. Would you rather have pizza or tacos?
I'd rather have pizza.
What kind?
Pepperoni and sausage.
Okay. Yep. That's a good one. Okay. Now to the real stuff. Thank you for playing. So Nick Ellersick, that's how you pronounce your last name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're an inspirational speaker, a Spartan race finisher, a son, a friend, a salesman, a professional, just all around stuff. Great follow. Love your motivational speaking. And one of the reasons why you were one of the first people I thought of to have on this podcast. And so I called it Pathways to Greatness, because for me, so many people are pursuing greatness. And a lot of times they think it might be a linear path. So just like a straight path from here to there. And, you and I both know that doesn't happen. And so my purpose of this podcast is so people hear stories like yours and won't quit. Like, I just don't want people to quit, because there's so many times that I want to quit. And so one of the post that you made that I really liked, and it was a picture of you with high school students behind you. And you said that you were there to share the importance of believing in yourself, creating confidence, and defeating adversity. I added that last one on from a different post. But it again, that resonated so much with me, and this podcast is some of the reasons why I wanted to have you on. So if you can give the listeners, because we run in different circles other than the mastermind that we're both in. So I would love for you to share a little bit about your background, how you were younger, because I know you've shared some of the challenges you had in high school, and what were some of the things that you did to get on your pathway to greatness?
So let me take you back to the beginning. I was diagnosed with dyslexia, ADD, a speech impediment, in the 3rd grade. I had to fight my whole life, be an advocate for myself, and just learn in an early age to fight for myself. And as a young teen in high school, not knowing, like stepping into high school on the first day, and having to fight for your life, or fight for yourself, all the way through high school, and taking extra classes outside of high school just to graduate. It's just a true testament to myself, being able to do that, and proving people wrong, and just showing people. And that's what with my message, and I want to show people that you can do anything, and that whether you have a learning disability or any adversity that you're going through, that you can do it, and that you can get through anything.
See, 100%, this is why I wanted you on here, because we make little things into big things. So I don't want to gloss over some of the things that you shared. So I can't imagine the challenges that you had going through middle school and high school and elementary school, because kids can be brutal. Brutal. And I was a fat kid growing up. So I faced some of that, ridicule. So for you, getting through it and being diagnosed at such a young age and learning to fight for yourself, what were some of the things that you did to help you get through some of those early stages?
Well, a lot of it was positivity. To be completely honest with you, my mom was a very positive person, and she would always be the encouragement. And to all your listeners out there, your mom is an amazing person. Like, you may not like her, love her, if she's nagging you or whatever. She's doing that out of kindness and out of love. And my mom was my number one support. My parents were, actually, both of them were. Just positivity is really what got me through each and every day, each and every test, each and every assignment, was positivity.
So what kind of things did you do to stay positive? Because I know, I want to give the listeners tools to do when things are tough.
Just positivity and my faith. I also relied on my faith a lot.
Okay.
I would always pray before a test in high school. And then I'd always my mom would always give me like positive reinforcement, positive support. Whether I was stuck on an assignment or anything like that, it was always positivity. Like, whether it be saying like, you can do it, Nick, there's nothing stopping you, or yeah, always positivity and faith.
Your mom sounds 100% like my mom.
Mhm.
She used to sing a song, and she still will now. So I just turned 50. So I'm her little baby boy still.
Uh-huh.
I'm the youngest and the favorite. So
Uh-huh.
but she would sing the song, think positive, believe you can, do anything that you plan. If you will, life will treat you grand. Think positive, man.
Mhm.
And I mean, I was little, and she sang that to me over and over. And people always make fun of me of just life is butterflies and rainbows, but it was nurtured into me to be positive. And it sounds like that's the way you were as well.
Yeah, I was very nurtured to and my mom's still positive to this day, and getting through on my dad's death, that positivity also helped me out a lot as well. But yeah, very, very positive person, which is very blessing.
Yep. Okay. So you used a lot of positivity and you used your faith. What were some of the other things or other people that helped you get through some of those trying times in high school, middle school?
So I worked with a lot of not counselors. I worked with like in the third grade, I worked with a learning center. Um they I would go there after school. They would help me with my homework. They give me different strategies, tactics to help me in school and with my homework. Um, as well as I had a tutor. I would have to go to tutoring a lot. I would do tutoring on the weekends. Just tutoring on the weekends and at night. If I want to go play with my friends, no, I'd have to do tutoring. But it helped me out in the long run. Because it helped me. Uh, it showed me how to have a hard work ethic, and
Okay.
that's the one thing. All this has blessed me with a hard work ethic, and not much people nowadays have that, which is which is um which is sad. And um I think that's was the best lesson that that my dyslexia and everything gave me, are the best, like, I guess, tactic or strategy.
Yeah. Well, and I want people to, so if they need to rewind to listen to what you shared, or I'll recap it briefly. What I liked about your story and what you're talking about is it's the importance of a support system. So
Exactly.
you didn't do it alone.
Yeah,
You
no.
looked for help. You asked for help, whether you
Yeah.
wanted to or not. Your parents got you help
Yeah.
to learn from people, to give you, like you shared, the strategy and tactics to get through school. And there's so many people in life now, when we become adults, me included, that feel like, well, now that I'm an adult, I can't ask for help, or I shouldn't ask for help. It's a sign of weakness. What's your thought about that?
I think you should always ask for help. It help was the best thing for me. Um, because I would have to go to teachers, um, whether I needed extended time for test, or whether I needed them to read me the test. I would always ask them for help, and they want, the teachers in school want to see you succeed, and they want to be there for you. Um, they're not there to not help you. They want to help you, and they want to see you succeed. And I think um also surrounding yourself with good people too.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be a mentor a teacher, whether it be a teacher at your school or somebody outside of your class, have them be a mentor to you. Um, um, have them guide you through school. Um, if you're struggling one day, go to them for help. They're always there for you.
That's, I mean, it's, again, it's such a strong message that I know for me, going to people, I mean, I do my best to surround myself with really good people. And
Yeah.
that's how we came across, right? So we're part of
Yeah.
a great mastermind that's full of great people. There's like so many good people
There's so
now.
many good people. Yeah.
I can't even keep up. Like I can't, the
Yeah.
chat is insane. I can't even keep up there.
Yeah.
And but I see a difference in me just, and I'm always a positive person, like we share, but when you're around other people and you can start to, pour into them and know that somebody, if you needed help, you could ask for it, they're there. So with, you go to high schools to share your story, right?
Mhm.
So what are some of the key points that you always like to share with young people?
I always like to share that asking for help is okay. Um, I always like to share surrounding yourself with good people and surround yourself with great friends and health, and those healthy relationships will carry out through college. Like I still talk to some of my high school buddies today. Like they were at my dad's services and they were there all the way from grade school. Like it's just crazy to see that. Um, but and then also what was the last one? Oh, a hard work ethic. Having a hard work ethic, and that's mainly my when I go and talk to these students, I want to, because I always had a hard work ethic all the way through school, so I want to share that with the students and how a hard work ethic can help them out in life.
What, like, how do you how do you explain that? Because like you said earlier, there's not a lot of people that have it. They think they do, but they don't
Yeah.
really know. So how do you define a hard work ethic is one question. And then two, how do you help encourage and inspire them to do the hard things like you're talking about?
Well, like yeah, like not a lot of people will have learning disabilities, and it's just like you just want to like push through and like just do the best you can, and like you're the like you always want to put your best foot forward and always strive to be the best person that you can be.
What are some of the top questions that your audience ask you?
Well, I like top questions. Um, I'm trying to think. I haven't done one in a while, but um, like what like somebody asked me about my job. One of my jobs. I did work at for the Angels baseball, and
Cool.
they asked me about my job, and which was cool because like I worked for them for a little bit, and I loved the being around the atmosphere. I'm a big sports fanatic. I love going to basketball games. Me and my dad used to go to all the U of A games when they were in California, when they'd come to California. We go to those. So I'm a big sports fanatic. So I worked for the Angels for a little bit in grounds crew, and I got to see some amazing players, meet some amazing coaches, and then the work just got too much on my body, and I felt like it was degrading my body and it was hurting me. So I had to leave, and now I'm working for Hertz Rental Car Company, and I'm in the top. It's sales in the in OC, was named top in OC.
What's OC?
Orange, California.
Okay,
Orange,
got it. The OC. Okay, I didn't know if it was
yeah.
something. Okay.
Orange, California uh for most produced revenue, like third month into the job, like, so I figured out then that
Crushing it.
sales.
Now, what?
And then
How, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm going to. How do you do that? Like going from working a grounds crew to going into sales, that's not your normal transition. What
Yeah.
would you say are some of the things that make you successful in that role?
Just being personable. Like, I figured out sales and in life, you just have to be a personable person, like a personal person. And
That doesn't roll off the tongue very well.
yeah. And so I figured that out. So if you're just kind and you want to help people out, which I want to do in life, like that's all you got to do is be kind and nice and want to be helpful to people.
Yeah, and that's a great message. It's just being genuine. And when people are on a pathway to greatness, that you hope that they're doing it for the right reasons, and you hope that it's all for being genuine and to help other people. And to me, it sounds like, I mean, it's a win-win, right? I mean, you're able to help people and then you earn a good living as well and get the recognition for that, which is fantastic.
Yeah. So that's what I want to do. I just want to help people, and I want to be a good person.
There you go. How would you define greatness?
Just again, just being a nice person and a kind and courteous human being. That's what people are looking for in life, is just kind people, whether it be at a job or if dating, like they just want to like know you're kind and courteous.
What are some of the subtle things that you do to show someone kindness and courtesy?
I just go the extra mile, like whether it be like in sales and customer service, so I go the extra mile, whether it be cleaning the cars. I do extra work. I'm just there to help the customer out, and I go the extra mile.
Yeah,
and
in
my work.
The beauty of what you just shared is going the extra mile. And when you tie that back to your definition of greatness, of being kind and courteous, I feel like sometimes a lot of people just do just enough.
Yeah.
Just enough to be kind and courteous and not thinking of that extra mile. And it goes back to, the Bible, where God commands us to love thy neighbor and be a good neighbor. And that's the example that you're setting. It's not waiting for that other person to be a good neighbor to us, as we have to be the first, the good example, or the proper example of being a good neighbor. Now, how have you handled tough customers? Because I know that they're not all smiles and excited to see Nick.
Yeah,
what do you do when they're tough?
When they're tough, I don't throw a chair at them.
Oh, come on.
I want to, but I don't. No, I just be as polite as possible, and just tell them the truth. We don't have a car for you. I apologize. Would you like me to make a new reservation for you for tomorrow or the next day? And just carry on.
Yeah, it's so simple and so challenging for so many people. Is, like you said, tell the truth. How many times do we make excuses to ourselves and to other people if we're not able to, live up to their expectations, because that customer has an expectation to receive the car. And what you just shared is you just like, well, I don't have a car. So how do you manage not giving yourself excuses when you have like your Spartan race? And
Uh-huh.
that's not easy.
Yeah.
So how did you manage to get through that? Like mentally, I'm big on what you say to yourself. So I would love to
That
tap in
was
to know what you
that
said to yourself through that.
that was tough because at certain points of that race, I wanted to quit. But I told myself that I can do it and that at the end there's gonna be a big reward. And and I finished the race and I'm super glad I went because I wasn't gonna go because it was raining and I wasn't sure if the race was on because it was downpouring in Southern California,
Which never happens,
which
right?
never happens. So I was texting different sources or different places to say, "Oh, is the race still on? Is it on?" I was about to turn around and go home, but I'm thankful I went because in the long run, it was a beautiful day and the sun was shining. But um, there's a lot of tough obstacle courses, and there's this one obstacle course because I'm afraid of heights.
Me too.
And this one obstacle course, I think, got me over the fear of heights. Because I was going up it and I was so scared. And at the top, I was just on the top, like leaned over the edge, like looking down. I was like, oh shit, I gotta climb back over. And somebody said, and I was yelling, "Oh, I'm afraid of heights! I'm afraid of heights! I can't do it!" And the guy below me was like, "You can do it! I'm afraid of heights. Let's go!" And he he helped. Like the hardest part was the placing of the feet, because if I would put my foot through the loop, and if I miss, I'd feel scared because my foot wasn't in place, and so I eventually got back down and then it was good. But that was the one obstacle that really tested me because of my heights.
Well,
Yeah,
Nick, I think we
very,
have a new topic for your next inspirational speech, I think.
yeah.
Well, because when you were talking about it and I wrote it down, is you faced your fears. Like you looked at that wall. What did you, when, as soon as you ran up to the bottom of it, physically, how did you feel?
I felt like, oh like there's like I like before I even got to the bottom, I was like looking like, oh shit, there's height obstacles. Is like, yeah.
So what were you telling yourself when you saw it?
I was like, okay, how are you gonna do this, Nick? And and I eventually told myself like I was gonna like get through it and stuff like that. But at the initial start, I was like, how was I gonna do it? Because I knew like there's a little like I'm afraid of heights, so it's like how will I get do it? But in the long run, I just connected to my faith and then persevered and tackled it.
Well, a couple of the things that you shared that, again, I want the listeners to pay attention to. So you were facing your fears, and one of the critical components that helped you was the gentleman at the bottom. It's like,
Yeah,
just, you got this, you can do
yeah,
this. So that's something that we can play when someone's afraid. When we see them in life and they're afraid of something, we can be the encourager, like you said, kind and courteous and encourager. The other thing that really, I could see it in my head when you're talking about it, is when we're facing fears and we're moving into that fear. When you said your footing, you wanted to get your foot stable. And when it wasn't stable is when you were the most scared. So the lesson that I took from it is, as you're facing your fear, you need to have people supporting you. You need
yeah,
that cheerleading group.
You definitely do. You need people to surround you and build a team, and have those people in your corner.
And then you need to find your footing. So it's like little steps. You knew that it was going to require a step each all the way to the top. And then don't you have to swing your leg over and then climb back down?
Yeah, you to climb back down.
So
It's
it's like a
more.
multiple thing. So not only is it climbing
Yeah.
up, but it's that security of your feet. And all you have to do is when you're afraid and you're going through something is keep moving your feet until you find that stable point.
Mhm.
And you said earlier of just, it's really just playing your own game. Don't compare yourself to other people. It's like, look, I'm going to take as long as it needs to get over. And I just need to feel safe and secure as I take each step. And the lesson that I learned from your story was you just kept doing each step until you got through the obstacle.
Mhm. Oh yeah. Just keep on going. That's all you can do, is just keep on going. Put one foot in front of the other and keep on going, and you will get there.
Yep. Well, I definitely think you have a new topic for one of your upcoming speeches.
Yeah, I got one coming up. So
Oh, do you?
yeah, well, it's March 9th, and then I got a big interview on PBS on
No way.
March uh March 3rd. Yeah. So this was all like pre-planned before my dad's passing. So all this stuff is like pre-planned. But after March 9th, I'm gonna start really tackling.
Okay. So what's the topic of the PBS?
PBS is so my old professor in college has a show on PBS that's ordinary the name of it, like it's like the frame of like people doing ordinary things, or like I don't know, I can send it to you, but
Yeah, because I was looking. So this one's scheduled to come out the first part of April.
uh-huh.
So I want to make sure that we put the link in the show notes so people can go and watch that
Yeah,
when we're
I can
able
watch.
to.
I can. It's so the PBS isn't going to air till like 20. Like
Oh, so we got time.
yeah, we got time. Yeah,
Okay, got it, got it, got it.
it's like she's like I'm like yeah.
What do you think you're going to talk about?
It's doing my story and like my speaking and everything like that. So
Well, I'll feel honored if you put the Spartan rope course in there.
I will. Yeah.
Well, I think it just, visually as a storyteller,
Yeah.
it really does present a great visual for people to think about. Because when you were talking about finding the footing, your reaction when you got to the bottom, when
Yeah.
people are on their pathway to greatness, there's tons of rope walls, there's tons of
Yeah.
obstacles, and it's just attacking each one at a time.
Yeah. Yep.
So what's on the forecast? So after you have those two, you have a speaking engagement, you've got PBS. What's in the future for Nick?
I, well, right now um after that I'm gonna start getting on more podcasts and just share my story and just continue to develop myself, and whether it be in my health or anything like that.
That's awesome, man. Well, you've got a big supporter with me. I love your story. I love just the approach and the authenticity that you offer. And it inspires me. I mean, it motivates me to see that you're relentless and consistent. And that's
Yes.
what I always appreciate, that, it's that consistency of delivering those positive messages.
I appreciate you so much, Jeff, and those kind words, and yeah,
So how can I support you?
just support me on social media, whether it be just liking my social media posts. I'm slowly starting to get back into it. I've been taking a little break from it. But yeah. your listeners can support me by if your school, your student needs a speaker, I will be happy to fly out, drive out, whatever. I do it for free, at a certain extent, but I'll be there for your student and for your student's school. I'm slowly building a website and stuff like that, but my social media will be posted in the show description, but you can reach me out on social media, and yeah.
Nick, man, like I said, I'm a big supporter. I'll support you in whatever way that I can, and you've got to continue to put your message out there, because it's one that will help a ton of people that need a voice. They need somebody out there leading the charge to prove to them that they can do more than they think that they can, and that they need to squash the negative voices and listen to people like your mom and my mom.
Yeah.
And be positive. I was going to sing, but I'm not going to sing, so don't worry about it. Well, man, I appreciate it. Hang on a second. Everybody, please go and support Nick Ellersick. And like he said, everything that he has will be in the show notes below. And by the time this comes back, I'm sure he will be Mach 2 on social media, putting his stuff up there. But if not, you can scroll back, and he's got tons of videos that he shares, inspirational quotes and motivational just tips and strategies for the day. And he's just awesome. So thanks, Nick. I appreciate you. All right.
Thank you so much.